Game Challenge, a countdown of the week's top 10 home and arcade video games. Previews of the newest games and accessories. Expert players share their winning secrets. And the championship match between the world's highest scoring players on Millipede. Now, here's the star of the Video Game Challenge, Bobby Sherman.
Video games are sweeping the world, and the revolution is just beginning. So whether you have a computer at home or just invest a quarter while you're waiting for a pizza, we're going to be here to keep you right up to date. We've got so much to cover, this is going to be the fastest half hour in television. For openers, let's meet our championship Millipede shooters. On the left from Dallas, Texas, the tournament champion of That's Incredible, Ben Gold. How you doing, Ben?
Fine.
I hear you celebrated your birthday by running up a 40 million point total on Stargate. Is that right?
Yes.
How long did it take you to do that?
Almost 36 hours.
It's lucky for us, Millipede plays faster. Good luck today, Ben.
Thank you.
And on our right, from Mountain View, California, the winner of the National Centipede Championship and the holder of the highest recorded score on Millipede, Eric Jenner. Hi, Eric. What's your high score on this game?
It's 1,953,000.
Almost 2 million. Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. Good luck today, Eric.
Thank you.
And now, here to start the action is the fastest mouth in the West, the real Don Steele.
Thank you, Bobby. Are the players ready? All right. For the World Championship of Millipede, 3, 2, 1, shoot! There's the Millipede sneaking down the screen to the archer our players control. The parts of it you hit become mushrooms, the rest keeps coming. The mushroom field scrolls down one level with each new Millipede, and there's 7 other insects to watch out for. Our players must instantly distinguish between the behavior patterns of all 8 bugs. The earwig turns the mushrooms poisonous, which sends the Millipede spiraling down the screen. The beetles change mushrooms into flowers that stop the shots cold. The inchworm slows down the game action. The bees, mosquitoes, and dragonflies are bombers. Any one of these insects will destroy the archer on contact. Each player starts with 3 archers and earns more as he reaches certain point totals. These players are so good that their play is routine until about the 300,000 point level. While we wait for them to get there, let's go find Bobby.
This isn't a graphic from Dungeons & Dragons. It's Castle Park, one of Southern California's largest and best-known video arcades. And we're visiting Castle Park today to meet some of the players and pick up a few tips on how to play some of the most popular games. This is Audrey with a tip on Centipede.
The best thing to do is to shoot the scorpion first so that it doesn't poison the mushrooms and the centipede falls too quickly to the ground.
Oh, good. Thank you, Audrey. And Alberto, you have a tip for us on Jungle King.
Yeah, my advice is to keep good timing, not to get anxious. Also, jump as low as you can to the rope, and always jump to the rope when it's going towards you, not away. When you jump into the swamp, try not to kill the first alligator. I've noticed that the second or third will get you if you get the first. Coming out of the swamp, when the boulders are coming towards you, give it enough space to jump over it, or else the boulder will roll over you.
And thank you very much, both of you. And we'll be back to meet more players from Castle Park throughout today's show. But right now, let's start our top 10 countdown. In the number 10 position for arcade games, as determined by Playmeter magazine, is Zookeeper. The number 10 home cartridge from the Billboard magazine chart is Sequest, up from 13 last week. Today's championship arcade game, Millipede, is in the number 9 position, while the home cartridge of Donkey Kong, the longest-running bestseller on the charts, remains in number 9. Making its first appearance on the top 10 is Time Pilot at number 8. Falling 2 positions after 3 months on the home chart is Phoenix. In the number 7 arcade position, another first-timer coming on strong is Mappy. The number 7 home cartridge, moving up fast, is the comical Keystone Capers. And we'll continue our countdown throughout the show. But now let me tell you about a new home cartridge I think we'll be seeing on the Billboard chart soon. Burger Time for Intellivision consoles is Mattel's first try at adapting an arcade game for their system. Now you play Chef Peter Pepper, who assembles hamburgers by running over their separate ingredients, which are positioned one above the other on the screen. As each ingredient drops when crossed, it displaces the one below it. Eventually you have 3 or 4 completed hamburgers and go on to the next screen, where more ingredients are waiting to be assembled on differently arranged platforms and ladders. Trying to catch you are a fried egg and 4 little hot dogs. They're not too bright, so you can make extra points by dropping ingredients on them or luring them onto a bun and then stepping off quickly and letting them ride it down. When things get tight, you can also pepper them, which immobilizes them for a few seconds while you make a getaway. You can earn extra peppers by passing the bonus positions, and you'll need them by the 4th screen where it gets harder to avoid the pursuers. By the 5th screen, the hot dogs and egg are joined by 4 much smarter pickle slices. If you get through all 7 screens, you get a cartoon before it starts all over again. But I've been playing this game for 2 weeks, and I haven't seen it yet. The game has 4 speeds. The fastest is most like the arcade version. There are more screens in the home cartridge, and the chef is easier to control. The pepper precedes you by 2 paces, which can mess you up when you're trying to get out of a tight spot. The colors, graphics, and sound are as good as all the Intellivision games. And if you like the arcade version of Burger Time, you'll agree the home cartridge is a winner. Well, here it is, the most eagerly awaited arcade game of the year, the brand new Star Wars. Sound familiar? Let's check out the action. Now, as Luke Skywalker, your mission is to reach the Death Star and find the tiny exhaust port that's the only spot vulnerable to your proton torpedo. As play begins, R2-D2 is flying, so all you have to do is blast away at the fighters and avoid the fireballs. Then you take the controls and navigate through the towers and bunkers on the face of the Death Star, looking for the exhaust port. The voice of the flight controller helps you through the game, and you hear other familiar characters from the film. Each time you're hit, you lose one of the shields protecting you. The 3rd and final phase is in the trench, surrounded by gun turrets firing lasers. If you can dodge them all, you find the port where you have just seconds to drop the proton torpedo. Then you zoom away just as the Death Star disintegrates in a brilliant display of light and sound. There are 9 more levels, each with new hazards and faster and smarter opponents. There's both cockpit and upright versions, but the gameplay is exactly the same. This machine was supposed to be ready for the summer opening of Return of the Jedi, but just now is arriving. However, it doesn't need the tie-in with the film to make it a success. And like the Force, this Star Wars game will be with you always.
The real key to this game is to getting all of the burger things chasing you in this game together. You can do this by peppering them all and then dropping them on a bun one at a time. You get 16,000 points per drop, and that way you collect a whole bunch of men and you can keep going. You get 200,000 on just 1 round. It works best on the 3rd round because there's fewer turns than on the other rounds in the game. And this way you can pick up peppers, sacrifice men for peppers, and because peppers can become really important later on in the game as the things get faster and faster.
Our Millipede champions have reached the 300,000 mark. Let's go back to the real Don Steele.
Here's something you may never have seen before unless you're a very good Millipede player yourself. At the 315,000 point level, the game has a built-in plateau for advanced play. The players can choose to sacrifice whatever archers they've accumulated up to now to restart the gameplay cycle with 3 new archers. Both our Millipede champions are choosing this restart. The reason is because the game goes back to the initial degree of difficulty while the point total keeps building. There's another advanced play plateau at 630,000, but under the rules of today's championship, that restart will not be available to our shooters. Both our players have successfully accomplished their restart and are on their way to 400,000 points in the advanced play mode. Now back to Bobby.